Hello, I'm Dinosaurs. Welcome to Valorant for Dinosaurs Episode 5, your first game of Deathmatch. This is the first of 3 videos focused on Deathmatch, and in this one we will focus on observation skills. In the second we will focus on shooting, and in the third we will focus on moving. Each video has 2 mastery goals that you'll be able to put into practice right away. Deathmatch is a low-stakes environment for practicing moving and shooting, and learning the layout of the maps. This will be your first contact with other players in Valorant, as you'll be facing 11 other players, and it's everyone for themselves. I want to emphasize that the aim of this series is to make sure you have fun, goals, and realistic expectations for each stage in your journey. Many of you will not have a lot of time, so your journey to mastery will be at your own pace. The fun and satisfaction of Deathmatch mode is when you get some good shots showing that your practice in the range is paying off. And there can sometimes be some crazy and spontaneous moments in Deathmatch because people aren't taking the game too seriously. At this stage, our goal is to learn the very tricky core mechanics of the game: movement, shooting, and crosshair placement. And from playing, we will start to learn the layout of the maps in the game. Some of you may have played single-player games where you shoot huge numbers of enemies and rarely get killed yourself. It can be a shock going into a multiplayer game against real opponents where even the best players get killed a lot. So we do not expect to do top frag, that is, get the most kills in the game. We are completely unworried if we don't score a single kill and get killed 20 or 30 times. This is a learning environment. We don't have to worry about letting down teammates, as there are no teammates in this mode. There are no consequences at all for doing badly or even quitting early if we feel like stopping. Our focus is improvement, and the game is a win if you come out feeling like you've learned things that you can apply in the next game, and a huge win if that's an exciting feeling. To enter a deathmatch, press play on the main menu, then choose the game mode Deathmatch in the top middle. You can see a description of the mode at the bottom. Press Start. The button text will change to In Queue, and a timer will start. This shows that you're in a queue waiting for a group of 11 other players to be put into a match with you. While this matchmaker will try to find people of roughly the same skill level as you, it also doesn't want you waiting for too long, so you will usually be put into a match with people more skilled than you. You start at a random position on one of the Valorant maps. There will usually be a short warm-up period of a minute or so, which is there to allow everyone's computer to load the map and join the game. During this period, there might not be many enemies around, and some enemies will just be standing still. During this warm-up time, it is good etiquette to say, "Good luck, have fun," to everyone you're playing against. This is almost always abbreviated to GLHF, and you will sometimes see that in chat windows at the start of any game of Valorant. For the moment though, hold down Shift and hit the Enter key to bring up the chat window to all players, type GLHF, and hit Enter again to go back to the game. Now, to avoid distractions, I also recommend turning chat off. Go into the Settings menu by hitting the Escape key and select Mute All Enemy Text Chat. Then hit the Escape key again to go back to the game. Another reason to turn off text chat is that some players get annoyed with each other over silly things in Deathmatch, such as people using weapons they don't like, using crouch, or holding angles, which we will be doing later. Next, hit B to open the Buy menu and select your weapon. I recommend the Vandal. Then hit B again to put the Buy menu away. In Deathmatch you can open the Buy menu at any time and choose weapons as often as you like. It's a good way of experimenting with the weapons. Once the warm-up period ends, a timer will start counting down from 9 minutes. The game ends when someone has 40 kills or the 9 minutes are up, usually the former. As with the practice range, we will be using Deathmatch to practice clicking on heads. However, you might not see anyone immediately, so you'll need to look around and move around the map to find someone to shoot at. If you have your headphones on, you will probably hear nearby footsteps and gunshots of other players, and once you start moving and shooting, they will hear you too. Your first mastery goal is to wander around and familiarise yourself with the map, which you can do at your own pace. You can see on the minimap where you are. Try to visit all the areas that you can see on the minimap. Each time you enter a deathmatch game, it'll be on a random map, so you're actually familiarising yourself with 7 maps. Later on in this series, I will do a walking tour of each map, but it's good to have wandered around first. It's not a bad idea to read the name of the area you spawn into when you've been killed. It is shown at the top of the minimap, here. Much later on in your journey, when you're playing with a team, teammates will call out these names to help you know where enemies are, and you will be able to do the same. But don't stress about that for the moment, just take in the names and enjoy wandering around. As you're wandering, you will come across people trying to shoot you, and it's good form to shoot back, which brings us to our second mastery goal. You guessed it, where to stand. Well, no. It's actually seeing if you can get some kills, but where to stand is the first thing we're going to practice, because it's not as straightforward as you think. This is called holding an angle. You may already have experience in your deathmatch going around a corner into a new area and being instantly killed, at which point it is very reasonable to think, how am I supposed to deal with that? So let's start by trying to be the person who does that. Let's learn how to hold an angle. The first thing to do is to find a corner, or angle, that someone's going to come around. Easier said than done when you don't know the map yet. Fortunately, we've been wandering around the map a bit by now, and we've been shot by a bunch of people. So when you can, note where the enemy was when you got shot. Note that people don't often practice holding angles in deathmatch, so you're more likely to be shot by someone coming around a corner. So to find a good place to stand, experiment. Look around, see if you can find somewhere where there aren't too many corners for people to come around. Point your crosshair at a corner where you think someone might appear, listen for footsteps, and wait. You are now holding that angle. The footsteps get louder. The enemy comes around the corner. Shoot! It's okay if someone comes up behind you and shoots you or gets you from an unexpected angle. That's what we're learning now. The good places to hold. By design, there are not many places where absolutely nobody can sneak up behind you, but there are certainly some spots that are better than others. If nobody appears for a while, you might be in a quiet area of the map. Generally, aim to do this on one of the bomb sites labelled A, B, or C. Note as well that whenever you respawn, red areas flash briefly on the minimap. These show where all the enemies are. Some players use this information to anticipate where people are standing, so sometimes if you've been standing still for a while, someone will come around a corner already aiming directly at you. Most deathmatches will be 9 minutes or less. Don't feel like you have to explore the whole map or find all the best places to stand in one game. Just take it all in, and try not to get distracted by all the dying. Your mastery goals for this game are more about observation than shooting. As I mentioned earlier, the game finishes when a player gets to 40 kills, which has just happened. This game has been a success for you if you have been practicing your 2 mastery goals of learning the map and finding some good places to stand. When a deathmatch ends, it's also polite to type GG, which stands for Good Game, in the chat. To do so, hold down Shift and press Enter to open the chat window to all players, type GG and hit Enter. There is only a short period of time that you can type this once the game is finished, so don't worry if you didn't type it in time. If you like, you can go into a custom game to explore that same map more at your leisure. When you go into your next deathmatch game, you're unlikely to go into the same map again, as there are 7 to choose from. To find out what map you are just in, you can go into your match history. Click on the Career tab from the main menu and click on the top match in your map history. On the left-hand side it will show the name of the map. Then hit play and select Custom Game. Choose the map we just showed and from Options select Allow Cheats. Then click Start, then Start Match. The game will ask you to pick an agent. It doesn't matter which at the moment, so pick Brimstone, the first one, and click Lock In. When the map loads, hit the Escape key to go into Settings. Click on Cheats and click End Game Phase to lower the starting barriers and let you explore the whole map. Finally, pause the match timer. This will give you all the time you like to explore at your leisure. It's a good time to get to the corners of the map you previously missed and scout out good places to hold angles, especially on the bomb sites A, B, or on some maps C. Finally, when you're done exploring, hit Escape again, click on the top right gear icon, choose Leave Match and hit Confirm. In the next episode, We will be continuing with your second game of Deathmatch, where we will be concentrating our mastery goals on shooting.